Hello guys, it's Toby here, the Ecom Business Coach. In this training today, I'm going to show you the 5 key email funnels that you must set up on your Ecom store to help you maximize your sales from your customers. It's really important to do this stuff because obviously we spend a lot of money getting traffic to your store. So we need to make sure that when that traffic does get there, we're maximizing the return we're getting from those visitors and constantly moving them to the next stage, becoming a more and more loyal customer and ultimately becoming a raving fan of the business. So let's get into it and let's unpack that. When you are thinking about email funnels, there are certain stages in the life cycle of the visitor and a customer to your business that you can set up different funnels for. And obviously the content you're going to use for those funnels is going to be different depending on what stage they're at and also depending on your business and what you're selling and who your customers are. So I'm not really necessarily going to get into actual content of those emails today. I'll give you some examples from other clients, but the key thing is to understand where you need the funnels, and then you need to think about how to build those funnels up and then help people get from one stage to the next. Now, part of a big mistake that businesses generally make, and e-commerce business do as well, is when they're starting to court their customers or court people to become customers, they kind of ask them to marry them on the first date. If you're looking to build a relationship with somebody, you don't start off by asking them to marry you on the first date. You kind of warm them up a little bit and take them through the stages. So you might have a chat with them, you might date them for a while, you might go steady for a while. You're going to get to know them, and in each stage, you need to move to the next stage slowly. This is the same when you're dealing with your customers on your e-commerce store. It's like sometimes you get people who want to go straight from a visitor to sell them to be a subscriber or to get them to be an affiliate straight away. That's a big step. Break down the steps to smaller steps so people can move to the next step without even realizing they're moving to the next step, or certainly without thinking, oh, this is all too much, and clicking away. That's why you need to break it up into these stages. And as we go through these funnels, you can see those different stages that we're talking about. So what I'll do is I'm just going to go through a couple of slides with you that will show you those stages, and we can talk through them together. And actually, one of the first stages is one that most businesses, most e-com businesses don't do, but actually can have the biggest impact. And that first funnel is your lead funnel. So here the lead funnel, the point of the lead funnel is to get a visitor from your site to move to the next stage and add something to cart. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get them to go, okay, yeah, I do want to buy, and start adding their items to the cart. Now, what tends to happen is when people come to your site, out of 100 people that come to your site, a good conversion rate for people adding to cart is 11%. That means out of those 100 people come to your site, only 11 do something on average. Now you need to be measuring that in your business, and then if there is an issue you're not getting that level, then you need to work on strategies to improve that. But that also does mean that there's 89 people who you've paid to come to the site, who've walked in your doors of your e-com store that haven't done anything. They've just walked off again. So we want to try and get some of them into some sort of funnel. And a good way of doing that is actually offering content that they can get in exchange for their email address, which ideally will help them with their purchasing decision. So this could be something who's looking for a specific product, doesn't know what to buy, then they see a guide or a checklist on your site, on your product page, that says the 5 things you need to think about when buying X, 21 steps to making sure you get the right X. They will often download that to gain that information. Marketing's changed over the years, obviously. And as you can probably tell by my lack of hair and the different colors of it, I've been around for a while. So I remember very old marketing. I remember e-commerce when it first started. I was around for all of that. But marketing these days is obviously Google's changed it massively. But there's 2 key things you need to do. One is give good information, because everybody's looking and finding their own information. It's not a salespeople trying to sell them stuff, it's doing their own research. And the other is creativity. But you can position yourself as experts by offering advice and support. And if you can set up a lead magnet where they need to give their email address before they get it, it means we can put them in the lead funnel. I'll give you a quick example. I had a client, they're selling the devices that help you work out what's wrong with cars. So the digital devices they use in repair shops, they've got websites selling that equipment. Sorry, you can tell I'm not very technical in that equipment. But the business has done really well. We've marketed it well, it's took off. Part of the reason is they found a niche in the market and it's kicked off. It's gone really well. But we have set up a lead funnel for that business, and that lead funnel is a guide. And it's the 5 things you need to think about for choosing the right equipment. So it's a guide on choosing the right equipment so that they can make a better buying decision. We then have that as a download on all the product pages, on the main category pages and the home page. We also use that on social media marketing as well. It's a great way of getting email addresses and then putting them in a funnel. Now, when they put in their email address, they get sent the guide. Here's your guide. Here's a great thing for you. And then also we do a call to action. So we can offer, okay, make sure you buy the products you need. And we've got links to different products, and we might even give a discount code. So something of a call to action. We then follow up that email with at least 2 or 3 other emails, which then is linked to more useful content. For them, it's blog posts on their website, which has got written content and video. Again, giving them good advice, like they would if you went into a shop and spoke to an expert. So then by doing that, sending that, they're clicking back to the site, which again helps to get traffic on the site and helps to potentially get more sales. And then we have the call to action on those emails too. So they'll usually get a funnel of free emails in that funnel. And that then helps us get from 11 into carts to increasing that further. And all these funnels only need to make tiny differences, like 1 percentage point or half a percentage point, to make a massive difference on your revenue. But that's the first one, and it's the one that most businesses, on e-commerce businesses, aren't doing. It's your lead funnel. So that's definitely one you should set up and you should focus on. The next one then is your cart funnel. So this is one that e-commerce businesses do focus on a lot. And this is obviously to counteract abandoned carts. So abandoned carts are a big issue in e-commerce, and it is a big area where people leak out. The visitors come in, they put something into cart, and then of that 11% that put something into cart, only about 6% of that then buy. So we get down quite low. I think by the time you're buying, most e-commerce businesses, from visitor to buying, it's around 5 to 10% is a good conversion rate. Maybe a little bit less. So you can see here that most people, when you come to your store, they don't buy. But the better we can increase that, the more. But what we do find is that you can get very high abandoned cart rates. The first thing you need to do is obviously be looking at your abandoned carts to see what that stat is and to see if it is a challenge for your e-commerce business, which I can probably guarantee you that it is, and you definitely need this funnel set up. But then you need a funnel that does target people. So people have gone to the extent of entering their email in the purchasing process, which you do want in that purchasing process early on, so we can get those emails and get them in the abandoned cart funnel. Because then you want to send them messages to try and pull them back. Because some people, they probably put stuff in cart, they get distracted, they go off and do something else and get busy with life and they forget. So if we can, boom, remind them, don't forget to check out with your carts. It's also good when you do that, resell some of the benefits of the products they're buying, so they can see that. It's also good if you can kind of work out why your abandoned cart might be high. Often the biggest reason for abandoned carts is shipping issues, so people don't want to pay the shipping. So if you can counteract that with something, that's a good way of doing it too. But you need to have, again, 2 or 3 emails that follow that up. I don't like to necessarily just throw out a discount at this point. I know some people do that, but enough people know that's the case, and sometimes people do it just to get the discount. You got to work that out, but I don't necessarily like to throw the discount out. I'd really like to resell the benefits remind them, resell the benefits, try and get over some of the objections that we think they might have to complete that sale. One thing to note here though as well, when we are looking at these different funnels, it's not just about necessarily that initial funnel. So the initial lead funnel, the abandoned cart funnel, that's important. That will help us improve those areas. But it's also about getting people on your email list. Obviously, email marketing is a big part of e-commerce, and I'm not going to go into detail about that here. But obviously, the more people you got on your list, the more sales you're going to make. So it is about building your list as well. So if people aren't buying, we want to build that list, and these two funnels at the front end will help do that, so we can then get them later on. Because obviously, usually once your funnel's over, you then put them on your general emails. So whether you're getting once, twice, 3 or 4 times a month, they're then in that process. So the next funnel then is the customer funnel. So this is the funnel where somebody's brought, and then you want to get them to come back and buy again. There's a term used in marketing which kind of says when someone buys for the first time off you, they're really just a shopper. And what you want to do is you want to turn them into a customer. And a customer is somebody who comes back and buys off you again, becomes a bit of a repeat customer. So I've worked with lots of e-commerce brands where they don't focus on this, and their repeat rate and their sales isn't high enough. Now, obviously, some businesses are one-off sales, so there's not necessarily a repeat element to it. If you are in one of those businesses, then obviously that can still work, but you need to make sure you're making enough margin off that sale, because you've got to go out and get sales all the time, and obviously to get a customer costs a lot. You are much better if you can, even if you are in that type of business, find something else you can sell to them, or find stuff that they need to buy on a regular basis, because that's what you want to be doing. So this one here isn't, and again, people don't do this very well. I've worked with lots of e-commerce brands where they're selling products that are products that people need to take on a regular basis, like protein powders or vitamins or minerals, that type of thing. So you want to make sure that you're getting people into a new habit. There's obviously a whole science around habits, and a lot of the large product developers will spend a lot of time working out how to make a product a part of someone's life. The first step of that is in this funnel. So you want to welcome people as a customer. You want to encourage them to use your product, or give them training on how to use it, or remind them again of the benefits of it. You want that email series to go out that educates them about the product they brought, and then also about other products that you sell, or products that relate to the product they've brought, which they can add onto it. So again, and I would probably extend this email sequence to maybe 4 or 5 emails, because you're trying to build that relationship with them. And I would potentially offer, especially when they've done that first sale, here's something for your second sale. Or why don't you try this instead of that next time around? Or why don't you upgrade to this? So that type of thing. But you want to be really welcoming them and educating them into how they should be using a product, and getting to the habit of using the product, and or other products that go with what they brought, or other products that might be useful for them. There's a great term that I learned many years ago, but people focus on market share. Market share is important, but another term as well is wallet share. So this is where you can think about your product range, which is beyond the scope of what we're talking about today, but it's important when you do the customer funnel, is if you've got a niche that you're targeting and selling products to, there's probably other things that fit your niche that you can sell as well. So the more you can sell to that one person, the more of their wallet share you get. And that's a lot easier to get a customer who's already a customer to buy more from you when they already trust you, than it is to go and get a new customer. So, but this is where the customer funnel can help do that. And it can help educate people on the product they've just brought, and or other products that you sell that they could buy too. So it's really important you have that funnel there. And the idea being, we're trying to turn them into a customer, not a shopper. A shopper's brought once, a customer's brought 2 times, maybe 3 times. Now they're a customer. And that's really important you do that. When you look at the stats of what difference these types of things make on sales, repeat sales are massively important. Massively. If you get your customers or you increase your average repeat sale just by a tiny amount, it adds a huge amount onto your revenue, and there's no marketing costs for that revenue. So it's really important you have that funnel set up, and that falls in line with the next funnel, which is the subscription funnel. Now, this might not be relevant, or it won't be relevant for all e-commerce businesses, but the holy grail of e-commerce is to get people on auto ship or a subscription model. It helps massively when you're trying to sell the business. It massively increases the amount someone's willing to pay for that business, and it's guaranteed income for you. So you do want a funnel that helps turn people into a subscriber when that's relevant. The subscription model obviously came initially from software, and you may have seen the change in software. I used to sell software and implement software many years ago, and I was around when they first brought in software sold as a service. So historically, you'd buy your software, and then you pay one amount, and that's it. Now you pay monthly for everything. And it massively increased the income to that sector. Part of the reason why you've had an explosion in software, because loads of people are doing it, and now this has moved over to products. So e-commerce stores are trying to get people to subscribe to products they use on a regular basis. So that's really good. It's a potentially very good way of increasing your sales. So you want a process or a funnel to turn people into a subscriber. This is important. You want to do their customer funnel first. Then when someone's brought off you twice, then talk about subscribing. Don't shove subscriptions down their throats at the start. Now, some might go straight to subscribe. That's great. Obviously, you're going to have it on your website. Often you offer a bit of a discount for subscribers. But don't shove it down their throat in the funnels until you know they're a customer who's brought once, twice, or 3 times from you. Then talk about subscribing. Actually, there's one story that I found quite useful the other day. Like, I get a lot of my subscriptions online. I can't be bothered to go to the doctor. There's doctors online, and you can buy the drugs from there, and they send them to you. Happy days. But what they think they do really well is they'll send out a reminder going, your script's due. Your script, and what they're doing is they're going, okay, we know we've just sent 30 days of that medication. We know when it's going to run out. So they've got a funnel, which is probably your customer funnel. It's almost getting a subscription model that's in between the two to remind you. Now, what a good thing would be for them would be go to the next stage and have some sort of subscription model. That might be hard with prescription medication, but a subscription model would help them and make it a lot easier. But you think about what your funnel is, and what you tend to do in that funnel is then once they are a customer, you start selling them the benefits of subscribing. And the benefits of subscribing should be, you don't have to think about it. It's going to turn up on its own. You always know you're going to have the product. You're going to have what you need. And also there's a discount. So don't just sell discount. Sell the benefits of subscribing. I've got products I subscribe to, and it makes it a lot easier for me. Otherwise, there will be gaps when I wouldn't have that product, and I'd have to go and buy it. So there's benefits for customers, especially when they like your product and they've already bought a few times. That's your subscription funnel. And the last funnel there needs to be your affiliate funnel. So affiliate is somebody who sells for you. It's not about you necessarily having an affiliate program set up, which obviously some people do, and that can work quite well for them. An affiliate program's where they can drive sales to a certain link. Now, if you've got this far in the video and you saw that call come in, comment below and say, haha, you got a call. It will tell me if anyone's watching or anyone's got this far into it. But your affiliate funnel is really about turning a customer into, or a subscriber into, a raving fan. Someone who's going to sell your products for you to other people. That doesn't have to be an official affiliate program where they actually get money or kickback for doing it. It can be if that's what you want to do, but it doesn't have to be. It can be just you then encouraging them to introduce you to other people, encouraging them to spread the word. And some people who by this point are subscribers, they love your product, they're very much involved with your business, they will be willing to do it. And we just here now encourage them to do it with a funnel to help them, encourage them to spread the word. So that's kind of your different funnels that you need to set up in your e-commerce store, which will help you massively increase your sales. Now, if you've got any questions about that, then please comment below. And if you want more training on this, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And I look forward to talking again soon. Cheers, guys.